Shall we begin, Praveen? Are we good?
Yes, sir. You can wait a few minutes. I think folks are joining.
All right.
Welcome, everyone. Thank you for joining us for today's webinar. My name is Praveen, and I'm the host today, also part of business development team at CloudAsset. Today, we are presenting a webinar which is focused on Azure Stack Hub customers, usage tracking, monitoring, reporting, and other billing scenarios. I am here with Arun to present the webinar. Just a little housekeeping before we get started. If you have any questions during the presentation, please type them into the question box in your Teams Q&A section. I'll bring them up during the presentation, and we will also have a time for questions at the end. Now, without any further ado, we will turn the time over to Arun. Hey Arun, are you ready to take up the mic?
Hi, Praveen. Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay, over to you.
Let me present my screen.
Okay.
Hope you all could see my screen.
Yes, Arun, we could see.
Thanks, Praveen. Welcome, everyone, and thank you very much again for joining this session about automate Azure Stack Hub usage tracking, reporting, and billing. My name is Arun, and I'm taking care of sales and marketing here at CloudAsset. Let us take a look on what we are going to cover today. First, we will talk about what are the challenges today with monetizing Azure Stack Hub or doing chargeback on Azure Stack Hub. We'll go through the overview of Azure Stack Hub billing by CloudAsset, followed by the value proposition. And then we'll see how to set up your own price for all the available services within Azure Stack Hub, which means charge back your customers based on the consumption in a pure pay-as-you-go model. And we will jump into a demo followed by Q&A sessions. Right? Feel free to post your questions in the chat window during the webinar. We will spend some time to answer those questions post to the demo session. So before we get going into this, let me take a few minutes to talk about CloudAsset and our offerings today. As a company, we CloudAsset are an independent software vendor and Microsoft Gold partner for some of the capabilities, namely application development, cloud platform, DevOps, and recently we got enabled for application integration as well. So with that said, we've been in existence in this field over 7+ years today. We are headquartered in the US, in the Redmond region, and have our branch offices in Canada and in the region as well. As a product-based company, our original focus is to deliver solutions and services for private and hybrid cloud technologies. We have Azure Stack Hub customers across the globe, over 30+ countries today, that spans from small to large enterprises, including Fortune 100 and 500 customers, top 5 financial institutions, top 5 healthcare institutions in the US, government agencies, OEMs, service providers, to name a few categories. Aside from a product-based company, we do help customers by giving professional services, particularly in the cloud area, helping customers to modernize their legacy applications for the cloud, provide consulting for architecture designs to migrate to the cloud, modernizing their data centers. We also pretty much focused on MSP services as well by being your extended technology partner in managing your cloud infrastructure, be it in Azure or AWS. So with that said, let us get started with the agenda for the session. What are the challenges today with monetizing Azure Stack Hub or doing chargeback on Azure Stack Hub? As a company, you not only license the software from Microsoft, also incurring the cost of the hardware that is purchased from the OEM vendors. Also maintenance cost by having people to maintain the environment and support, and data center cost as well for operating it, right? So when you model the pricing for chargeback, you must factor all these costs, right? So the screen you see here is the VM provisioning screen from the Azure Stack tenant portal. So by default, Microsoft charges you for provisioning a VM, right? So they consider only the vCPU cores and not other any VM SKUs like RAM, disk memory, and whatnot. For example, you'll be charged, let's say, $30 for all the VMs with vCPU core as 2 by Microsoft. Okay, when you provision it, and they don't consider other SKUs. It could be 4 GB RAM, 7 GB RAM, 14 GB RAM, that doesn't matter. If that vCPU core is 2, they'll be charged the same price for all the VM instances. So typically, Azure Stack Hub collects and groups the usage data for the consumed resources, then forward that data to Azure Commerce if you had registered your Azure Stack system to Azure for processing the bills. From the bill you get from Microsoft, it only tells you what is the amount that you as an operator should pay for Microsoft. And they also tell what the amount is prorated by each CSP tenant based on the subscription, on the resource consumptions, right? So as a result, you do not see how many VMs had been provisioned under different SKUs and cannot charge back your customers, the tenant users, based on the resource usages, like how public cloud Azure bills today. So the way how Microsoft bills you is a rudimentary process, and that cannot help you to charge back your customer effectively, right? So you really need an Azure-like pure pay-as-you-go consumption-based model where you could set prices for different meters and charge your customers. And that's where Cloud Assert comes into play with our billing solution as a true native resource provider that gives you an integrated UI experience within Azure Stack Hub for the showback and chargeback purposes. Okay, so be it enterprise or service providers, you should need a robust metered based billing solution to enable you model the price for the Azure Stack services accordingly. Overview of Azure Stack Hub billing by Cloud Assert. Microsoft does not offer native billing for Azure Stack Hub for the showback and chargeback purposes, like how public Azure cloud bills today, right? So Cloud Assert identified this gap and built usage and billing as a true native resource provider for Azure Stack Hub to deliver an integrated UI experience that enables you truly cloudify your Azure Stack services. So the billing solution supports both connected as well as the disconnected Azure Stack environment. Deploying Cloud Assert billing resource provider within Azure Stack Hub is like how you deploy other resource providers that comes out of the box with Azure Stack Hub, like SQL resource provider, websites, and so on. The same procedure you can follow for deploying the billing resource provider as well within Azure Stack Hub. So the billing solution enables you as a service admin to define multiple pricing models, that is rate cards within Azure Stack Hub for all the available services, resource meters, plans, and offers. If you wanted to model the pricing based on Azure Public Cloud in your region, so that it is easy for you to sell Azure Stack Hub as a service to customers. Am I right? We also help you to get pricing configuration for Azure Stack that mirrors Azure pricing of your country. So this means we just give you a jump starter, like alluding with Azure price of your region for Azure Stack services in order to faster time to the market if you really do not know how to start with the pricing configurations. Right. So instead of having report from Microsoft at the end of the month and then transforming the cost to the tenants by sharing it over email or on a separate portal, the billing solution we built for Azure Stack Hub allows you as an admin to see the ongoing usages against the subscription and its associated cost. Not only the admin, the tenant also can see their ongoing usages and its associated cost against their subscriptions right within from their respective portals. And this is what Azure Public Cloud offers today, and our goal is to bring the same kind of experience in Azure Stack Hub as well. What is the value proposition of Cloud Assert billing? You can track utilization and monetize the platform with an industry leading and commerce solution. You can enhance a native Azure Stack platform and deliver billing experience from within Azure Stack Hub portal. It makes you ease of use and provides consistent experience for the end users. You can monetize everything, not just Azure Stack resources. The billing solution we built also supports a wonderful mechanism called custom collector that is driven through PowerShell scripts that augments collecting more usage data not only inside Azure Stack Hub but also outside of it by the usage collection mechanism provided by the external system. If you offer any legacy services for the same Azure Stack tenant customer, then you might want to bill them in a single invoice, right? Then you can use this custom collector mechanism to query the usage from the usage collector of the legacy system to compute cost and include it as one of the line items in the invoice in order to process the bills to the tenant customer, right? So you could do that by simply injecting the PowerShell scripts by your own, or we can write the scripts for you as a professional service by understanding your use case. It also offers flexible billing and payment models. You can charge back your customer in a flat fixed monthly fee model or in a pure pay-as-you-go model, or combinations of both. Depends on the customer's specific billing needs. Right. We also have a feature that gains visibility for you into usage versus quota consumptions, right? This feature provides visibility into service level quotas and usages right within from the Azure Stack Hub tenant portal. As a result, you can compare resource usages versus allocated Azure Stack quota to plan infrastructure and control the spends. I can talk more about the value propositions when I walk through you the demo. Also, for those who have invested in multiple Azure Stack Hub Stamp instances, we recently extended the billing solution to track the resource consumption for all the subscription across the stamps and be able to bill the end customer from a single portal by making any one of the Azure Stack portals as a master one to deploy the billing solution and manage the billing from the centralized portal, from the centralized place. Right? So it is not necessary for you to deploy the billing resource provider in all your Azure Stack portals if you have more than 2-3 stamps. So you can choose any one of the stamp as a master one, deploy the billing solution, billing resource provider, and you can simply give permissions from the tenant portal in order to see all your usages of all the subscription across the stamps. So that is the capability that we recently enabled on top of the billing solution for Azure Stack Hub. Set up your own price for all the available services within Azure Stack Hub. Cloud Assert billing solution for Azure Stack Hub comes out of the box with a default pricing profile. You see that in the image that I put in my screen, right? That has all the usage meters emitted by Azure Stack services. Whereas you can configure pricing profile, that is your own rate cards for all the available meters. Okay. For example, if you want to bill your customer in a flat fixed monthly fee, irrespective of the resources that are consumed by them, you can do that. In the other case, if you want to charge back them based on the actual consumptions for certain meters like storage, page block, table capacity, IP addresses, and whatnot, that is also totally possible through the Azure Stack billing solution by Cloud Asset today. The solution has the flexibility to support various billing models such as flat fixed monthly fee, prepaid model, pay-as-you-go type like Azure, and combinations of both these models. Depends on how you want to cater your customers' specific billing needs, you can model the pricing with the help of Cloud Asset billing solution. So with that said, let me switch my screen to the demo environment.
Okay. Meanwhile, if you have any questions, please feel free to post it in the Q&A session. Seems Arun is connecting the Azure Stack Hub environment.
So let me know when you can see my screen. I'm just switched to one of my Azure Stack single node demo environment.
Yes, Arun, we could see your demo screen.
That's great. Thanks, Praveen. So as you see here, I am in the administrator portal experience of Azure Stack Hub. In the demo environment, we have already deployed Cloud Asset billing resource provider, and that is where you could see billing under the menu catalog. Okay, so once you deploy the billing resource provider, you could see it under all services. Okay, so when you select all services, it prompts the screen and you get to see the billing resource provider under others. Okay, you can pin it as favorite for easy navigation to make it appear under favorites icon, favorites plate, right? So after deploying the billing resource provider, one of the first step you should do as an admin is to configure the settings in terms of what feature you want to enable or disable in your environment for the tenants. When I select this product feature settings, it shows me couple of features. So this is one of my ASDK demo kit. We use this for development purposes, and that's where it looks like a little sluggish. But when it comes to deploy in your multi-node, it is far better. Right. For example, there are features to run promotions, send email notifications to tenants for certain scenarios, show invoices to tenants in their respective portals, and allow them to download the invoice, integrate with payment gateways like Stripe or PayPal if you have the licenses for any payment gateways, to allow tenants to pay their bills right within from the tenant portal itself. So it is not necessary for the tenants to come out of their portals each and every time to pay their bills, right? So it depends on what is applicable to your business scenarios. You can turn on or off these features, right? You could also customize the invoice settings, such as enable or disable the approvals. for the invoices to be appeared in the tenant portal. So if you make it disable, the tenant could not see the invoice in his portal, in their portal. Okay, so when you only if you make it enable, the invoice option is available for the tenants to see their monthly bills. Okay, also there is a setting to set invoice due date, notification date over email for the reminders to pay their bills. You can give content to the header and footer. You can choose the format of the date. You can put your company name and logo. Okay, and in the invoice, which position you want the company logo to be appear, either in the top right or top left, you can select that. So there are lots of bells and whistles in the billing solution that can be leveraged by you as a service admin to satisfy your customers' specific billing needs, right? So then the next step is, as a service admin, you should decide how you want to offer your services and charge back the end user. Let me select the pricing profile. This is the heart and soul of the billing solution. So with Azure Stack Hub, Microsoft obviously charges you for any resource that you provision, be it compute, storage, or network, right? As Microsoft has the specific rate cards, based on that, they will charge you. Okay, for example, when Microsoft charges you $100 for provisioning any resources, you just want to price it as $110 for your customers by simply marking it up as 10 in a percentage based, right? On the other hand, you could think, hey, Microsoft let charges me the way they want, but I have my unique way to charge my customer based on the actual consumptions of the metered resources, or simply mimicking the Azure pricing of my region for the Azure Stack services, right? So if you want to get into the metering the resources based on certain metrics and then tracking the consumption to convert them into costs for the showback and chargeback purposes, that is also totally doable through the Azure Stack billing by Cloud Asset. As a service admin, once you have decided what are all the services that you're going to offer through plans and offers, then the next step is setting up a pricing profile for each of the offers that you made publicly available for the tenants to subscribe, consumer services under that offer, right? So essentially, pricing profile is the core feature of the billing solution, and that enables you how to charge per subscription that is created through Azure Stack offers. You could also charge a flat fixed monthly fee if you prefer to charge customer in a flat fixed model, irrespective of whatever the resources that they consumed, right? You could also charge a one-time fee whenever a tenant subscribe the particular offer for a first time. They have to pay this one-time fee. Okay, also you can set markups in percentage or monetary based values by having a standard base pricing profile which has the default Microsoft pricings. Okay, so ultimately you can run promotions against any specific offers. When somebody subscribes to a particular offer, they will get this promotional credits. Let's say $100 for the first 30 days if you prefer to run this promotion as a recurring. Right, you can optionally run this promotion for one time as well, maybe for the first 30 days. So whenever they get to consume resources with this pricing profile attached to the offer, they get to consume resources free for this $100 for the first 30 days. Okay, so alternately you can run recurring credits as $10 or whatever the value that you want to offer to your customer. Every month the customer who subscribed this offer will get $10 as discounted. Okay, So if you wanted to offer a true pay-as-you-go billing, then you can simply open this pricing profile where you get to see all the meters that are exposed by Microsoft today to track its consumption and charge back the customer as like Azure public cloud. Okay, so for example, when you look at storage as a service, Microsoft emits table, page block capacity, block capacity, queue capacity, and whatnot as a storage type. And for compute, they, let's see. Yeah, and for compute, they emit Windows VM hours and base VM hours. Base is the Linux VM. Okay, for you to price your customers. If you want to charge different prices based on the VM sizes, then how you could do? Let me quickly show that for Windows Basic A0. When you select the particular meter, it takes you to the particular meter page where you can configure price for the particular meter. Okay, so first you want to enable this meter. You should enable this meter and then configure price for it. Okay, so for a month, if you want to charge $100 when somebody provision this Windows Standard A0 with Windows licenses included, it automatically charges them $100 for a month. Okay, and it automatically calculates Harley unit price as well. You could see here, right? So based on the monthly price you set, it automatically calculates the Harley unit price as well. You can also set a minimum monthly fee irrespective of this VM is used or not. You could set as 20. Okay, so whether they use this VM or not, if they the offer that they purchase the offer that has this specific pricing profile, then they will get charged a minimum monthly fee as 20, irrespective of this Windows Basic A0 VM is consumed or not. Okay, so you can also give Harley unit credits for the VM usages as free. Let us say 10, and only beyond that 10 hours the user will get to be charged. So for the first 10 hours of the usages, they are not charged by anything. Okay, for example, if they used only 11 hours, they will get to be charged only for 1 hour because they have 10 Harley unit credits free. So you can also filter the properties here based on the VM type. If it's standard A0, then this price should be applied. If it is standard A1, then I want to charge $35 or $40. Okay, so based on the property value, the billing solution identify whether the VM is A0 or A1, because you see the meter ID remains same for all the Windows VMs and the Linux VMs. Okay, irrespective of the instance size. So only based on the property value that we set here, the billing solution identifies whether it is A0 or A1 and compute cost accordingly. So once you configured the pricing, you are ready to offer the services and start tracking the consumption for the chargeback purpose. The next step, so after you configure the pricing profile, as a next step, you should create quotas. Okay, and link the pricing profile that you have created. Okay, so in this case, we have 3 pricing profiles. You can use the existing quota that comes by default when we deploy the billing resource provider, If you want to create any new quota, you can just simply select it and clone it. You see here, right? You can give your name for maybe gold quota, and link the pricing profile that you have created. So whatever the pricing profile that you have created, all will be listed here. You can choose the one that you want to link it to this particular gold quota, the way that you want to charge back the customer who subscribe this gold quota, right? So once after you link the pricing profile with the quota, the next step is to associate the quota to Azure Stack plan and link it to the offers that you typically do when you create an offer for your tenants, right? It made it one of the plan. Okay. When you go to services and quotas, maybe I can show you by creating a new plan that will helps you understand easily how the solution works. Maybe you can give the display name as Black Forest. Choose the resource group. Okay. So under services, it is essential to choose billing also as a service if you want to track the resource usages, the consumptions against this particular plan. Okay, so like how you enable compute, key vault, network storage as a service, you must enable billing as a service to this plan. And then set quota for the resource providers. So this is where you have to associate, link the quota to the plan. Okay, and this quota has the pricing profile linked. Okay, so this is how we map the billing solution to Azure Stack plan and offer, and that's where the in customer resource usages are tracked and its cost computed. Okay, you can choose the quota and you can review and create. You see the plan, right? Black Forest. It has the quota linked to the pricing profile. It's associated to this plan. Then it's a same step that you follow. You can link this plan to offer and make it publicly available for customers to subscribe and consume the services under the offers that you have exposed, right? So I'm switching to Azure Stack tenant portal quickly here to show you how you can subscribe the offer and how the billing works in the tenant. Okay. So this is the Azure Stack tenant portal experience. Under subscriptions, you can subscribe the offer. Okay. So in this case, I have already subscribed an offer that is linked to billing as a service. Okay. So only you get to see billing here in the tenant portal. Okay. So just like Azure Public Cloud, tenants can get to see their usage histories at a quick glance. So in this case, this particular tenant has 6 subscriptions across the stamps. I just named it as 100 and 200. Okay, so they get to see all of their subscriptions across the stamps. So this is what I mentioned in the early conversation, right? You can have billing as a centralized solution to track the usages of all your subscriptions across the stamp from a single portal. Okay, you can make any one of the portal as a master one and deploy the billing, and just enable permissions to access your other stamps to see to get to see the usages of the subscriptions. Okay, so let me quickly select one of the subscription. So it gets you the breakdown of the current cost. When I select this donut chart, it further drills down and get to see what are all the resources that I have consumed in order to get this total billable cost. Right. So in this case, this particular tenant has used block capacity. The instance count is 15. Consumed units is 14.42 GB. So they get the billable cost as 0.3 cents USD. Okay. So similar to that, you get to see all the metered resources that you have consumed under this particular subscriptions, and get a visibility that how I get this cost. What are all the resources that I have consumed? Okay, a complete visibility for tenants to see their ongoing usages and its associated cost, like how Azure Public Cloud offers today. So in terms of extensibility, the billing solution also supports a wonderful mechanism called custom collector that is driven through PowerShell scripts that augments collecting usage data not only inside Azure Stack but also outside of it by the usage collection mechanism provided by the external system. So if you offer, let me download any one of the invoice. Maybe when you select this, you get to see the resources consumption details. So if you offer any legacy services for the same Azure Stack tenant customer, right, and you can use this custom collector mechanism to query the usage from the usage collector of the legacy system to compute cost and include it as one of the line items here, like how you see the consumptions across Azure Stack. Similarly, you can get to see the consumption across other cloud platforms as well, or other services that you offer. Okay, so as I told, you could do that by injecting your own PowerShell scripts, or we can help you to write the scripts as a professional service by understanding your use cases. Okay. You also, the tenant user has the option to download invoice as well. So I already downloaded it. And this is the standard format that we follow. So when you upload your company logo and name, it will be appeared here. Okay, so whatever the line items you see here, right, all can be customizable from the administrator portal. Also, if you follow any standard invoice format, we could help you to embed that here in the billing system. Okay, so we also have a feature for quota versus usage consumption, and this feature provides visibility into service level quotas and usages. All right. Yeah. Right within from your Azure Stack tenant portals, right? So as a result, you can compare resource usages versus the quota allocated. Okay, so in this case, the resource name is storage account. The provider is Microsoft Storage. You have consumed 9% of it. The quota usage is 7 out of 80. So this helps you to plan infrastructure and control your spends. Okay, so there are lots of bells and whistles in the billing system that can be leveraged by you as a service administrator to cater your customers' specific billing needs. Right. So like how you get to see the usage history and invoices against the subscription from the tenant portal. The same experience you can have from the administrator portal as well. So as admin from the usage history, you can see the usage of all the subscriptions across the stamps. Okay, against the subscriptions and against the tenant user. Right. So this is what I pretty much wanted to cover in the demo area, and I hope this will be very useful and insightful for you.
Thanks Arun for the presentation and the demo. We will go ahead and take some time for the questions now. Just a reminder, please be sure to type your questions into the question box in your Teams Q&A section. Okay, it's like we have few questions. Let me move on to the first question.
Yeah, sure, Praveen.
Okay, so does the solution works in disconnected environment? Okay,
absolutely. Yeah, that's a great question, and as I told, the billing solution supports in both the connected as well as the disconnected environments.
Okay, I think we are getting the similar questions in our multi-stamp management solution while talking to the customers. They will preferably ask, is it work under the connected and disconnected environment as well? I think, yeah.
Absolutely, yes.
This question works. Okay, let me move on to second question. How do I test cloud asset solutions in Azure Stack Hub? Okay, let me publish it.
That's a good question. So you can deploy the Cloud Assert billing resource provider in your multi-node environment itself. It does not affect other resource providers and other actions that you are performing. You can deploy it and test drive the solution. There are a few prerequisites should be taken care in order to deploy it in your multi-node. Also, if you have a single node ASDK development kit, you can also test drive the solution by deploy it in the ASDK kit. So we have our support deployment crew where they will be on standby and assist you in the deployment and evaluation process.
Okay, thanks. So I could see a few other questions as well. Okay, next question is about will your billing works in either public or on-premise clouds?
Yes, as I mentioned, we built the billing solution with extensibility in mind. As long as the usage collector of other cloud platforms, it could be on-premise or public cloud, it allows to query the usages. It is no problem for us for the billing solution to aggregate usage and compute cost. So to your question, yes, it works for hybrid clouds. It could be on-premise for private cloud and public clouds.
Okay, that's great. Okay, let me move on to the next question. Can we manage Azure Stack Hub customers billing from a standalone or an independent portal? It's a good yes.
Yeah, that's a great question. Yes. So some customer prefer to have an independent portal solution to manage the billing for Azure Stack Hub for whatever reasons, right? And that's where we have built Hyber, which is an independent portal solution, multi-tenanted, enabled with self-service portal experience, where you could integrate Azure Stack Hub and use Hyber as a independent platform to manage billing against your Azure Stack Hub. Not only Azure Stack Hub, as I told, you can use Cloud Asset Billing as a one-stop solution for all your billing needs across hybrid cloud.
Okay. Let me have another question, I guess. Yes. How to become a partner of Cloud Asset?
That's one another great question. We are happy to onboard you if you are interested to be as an extended reseller partner in your region for selling and deploying Cloud Asset solutions for customers. So we have a formal reseller partnership agreement in place where we could share that to you over email. If you're interested, you have the agreement get reviewed along with your legal team and send us the signed copy to proceed further. So please write us your interest, feedback, or any questions to info@cloudasset.com. So we are happy to schedule a one-on-one meeting to understand your business needs and see how we can be of help to you or how we can align the solution to meet your needs.
Okay, that's great. It looks like we have covered all of the questions, Arun. Is there anything else you want to cover before we wrap up?
Yeah, that's great. I'm good. As I mentioned, I think the session will be helpful and useful for the audiences. I think it's time to wrap up the session. You can learn more about the solution when you go to cloudasset.com. So it's time for you to get started with Azure Stack Hub billing in order to accelerate your Azure Stack Hub journey. Right. So feel free to follow us in social platforms like YouTube and Twitter, and be updated with the latest news about the company as well as the product, particularly for Azure Stack Hub. And Microsoft GBBs and some of the OEM vendors are already aware of our solution, so they should be able to point you to us if you get to work with any of the folks in Microsoft GBBs and OEM vendors. Right. So give us your feedback to info@cloudasset.com. We can schedule a one-on-one meeting to further discuss your business needs and take the conversation forward. So thanks for joining again. Thank you very much.
Yes, great. Thank you, everyone. We appreciate you being here. We are planning a couple of webinars in this quarter. You can get the updates over email. As Arun mentioned, if you want to know any technical details, please visit docs.cloudasset.com, where it contains product feature releases and other technical informations. Okay, so we are very active in social platforms also. Please follow Cloud Asset page to get the updates quickly. Thanks again for joining us today, and please write us your feedback about the webinar to info@cloudasset.com. Thanks everyone. Thanks for joining the session.
Yeah, thank you so much. Bye for now.